for those, I think everybody knows me. I'm Sue's baby sister. And I was pretty crabby this morning because I really wanted to come out here and not use any notes. But I wasn't sure, as the last hour was coming to a close, I was realizing I didn't know if I could say all the things I really want to say about my sister and be articulate and be eloquent and without some notes. So I have some notes. I'm going to try to only refer to them, but we'll see how that goes. So one of the most common questions that I have to go to the bathroom. I'll talk to them and not you. You need another glass of wine? Can we get a glass of wine for the birthday girl? You have the Cabernet. Cabernet. Former bartender, I noticed right away her glass was empty. Right. So one of the most common questions I get when I meet new people around Maine is so what brought you to Maine? You're from Michigan, how did you end up here? And kind of the quick, easy response to that question is always, oh, I just followed my big sister. It's all her fault. That's what I tell my mom anyway, so that, mom can be mad at her and for taking both of her daughters and not necessarily mad at me. But the problem with that statement is that while it's true, it's only partially true. And one of my mom's pet peeves of me growing up was that I didn't lie to my mom, but I may not always tell my mom every detail she needed to know. So I'm going to give you the real answer. I'm going to give you the real answer today to that question as to, how did I really end up in Maine? And the real answer is that I came to Maine because I followed my big sister, who was also my hero and also my friend. It's the truth. So let's go from the beginning. I'm going to lead you full circle here, I think. I hope to, anyway. I think from the time I was old enough to realize that I was part of this clan, this family called the Foleys, I looked up to Sue, and I admired my big sister. I wanted to do everything that she did. If she was dancing, I wanted to dance. If she was cheerleading, I wanted to cheerlead. Although I will say that was something I didn't totally buy into. I was the mascot for their cheerleading team in high school. But in high school, I didn't become a cheerleader myself. But Sue, to me, was always beautiful. She was smart, she was creative, and she was always surrounded by amazing people, as we witness here today. And I wanted to be all of that. Well, I didn't want to be all of that exactly. As my mom reminded us last night, when I was in 9th grade and entering high school and looking up to my sister who was now at the University of Michigan, I said to my mom, "Now I don't have to get all A's, do I, and be valedictorian?" And luckily my mom said I didn't, so that was good because that didn't happen. So that's how I knew Sue was my sister, and she was partially my hero because I wanted to be all those things that she was. But I think that the first time I realized that Sue was going to be much more than that in my life was when she asked me to be the maid of honor at her wedding. I was 18 years old, and if we're honest, we knew each other, but there's 8 years between us. We didn't know each other that well. I'd seen her through a few heartaches with boyfriends and this and that, but I was actually quite shocked. And I thought to myself, why me? And as I look back now, I think she had wisdom that I didn't have because I was 18 and she was a little bit older. And she knew that the ties of blood and the bond of sisterhood would be with us and would endure longer than any other friendship ever could. So I thank you for that. But that was the first time I realized she also wanted to be my friend. And I wasn't sure where I was, but that was great. She moved to Maine. I'm going to go check this out. This sounds cool. I want to go to Maine. And so I came to Maine with two of my best friends from high school, Katy and Kelly. And I loved the way Sue embraced us, how she showed us her world, how she could live in the moment, if someone said that earlier. And I think to this day I would never enjoy a tide pool the way I do without my sister's patience and ability to just be in that moment. And that's not something that some of you who know me, I don't have that. I'm a planner. Okay, what's next? What's going on? What's our schedule? What do we got going on? And so I love that about you, even though it drives me crazy at times. I love that about you. I admire that about you. I wish I could be more like that. I admire Sue's passion and her conviction. A few people have spoke to that today. I think of all the people in my world, Sue does the right thing because it's the right thing to do, and not because people are watching, not because of what other people will say about her, but because it's the right thing for the world around her, and the world could use a lot more people like that. I think many of you know our story, know that our family has endured a lot of grief and loss in the last 10 years, and I just cannot imagine that going through any of all of that without you by my side. To this day, she's probably one of the very few people in my life who know how damaged my heart still is. Our hearts still are. And there's a huge comfort in living this life with someone like that by your side. One of my greatest joys has been watching my sister as a mother. Little Miss Mackenzie is a pretty amazing young lady, if you haven't already come to know that, and that doesn't just happen on its own. So that's another piece that I really admire about my sister. So even though Sue and I sometimes may feel miles apart, that we're so very different in how we approach life, and she can, without doubt, drive me crazier than anyone in this world. There's nobody outside of maybe my mom and Amy that I love, respect, and need in my life more than my sister, my hero, and my friend. So, you, Sue, thank you. Happy birthday.